Because most people think to be rich, I just need a little bit more. Housel tells the story of Rajat Gupta, who grew up in Calcutta, India. He was orphaned as a teenager. He had very little opportunity compared to what most of us have had. And his life really became, in many ways, a rags to riches story. By his mid-40s, Gupta was the CEO of McKinsey. He retired from that to take a job with the World Economic Forum. He had become incredibly wealthy, very successful. In fact, he was tagged as being one of the few people in the world who was worth at least $100 million. By all accounts, he wasn't content with that. He wanted to be a billionaire. So while he was on the board of Goldman Sachs, Gupta, who had gone from rags to riches, had this desire to be a billionaire, and he participated in something called insider trading. For example, when Sachs was going through a rough patch, they found out that Warren Buffett was going to make a huge investment in them to make sure that they stayed stable. Obviously, that investment was going to prop them up and their stock price would soar when people found out about this investment from Warren Buffett. So within a few seconds of finding out himself as a board member, Gupta called one of his friends who was a stockbroker who immediately bought 175,000 shares of Goldman Sachs. When it shot up, that was worth well over $1 million. When they actually went to trial, they said that Gupta and his friend Rajartaman, who both ended up going to prison, had made $17 million in profits based on insider trading. So he ended up going to prison for something illegal, insider trading, when he already was worth $100 million. The author points out that if you had $100 million invested, and if it even averaged just 5%, which historically the stock market, if you reinvest dividends, averages closer to 10%, but even at 5%, that would earn you $600 an hour, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For most people, doesn't it seem like $100 million would be enough? But when you get there, it's easy to keep moving the goalpost. And he talks about Bernie Madoff, who part of maybe the biggest Ponzi scheme in history.